Hey there, my name is Przemek and this is the review of AimA album called Carmina In Spiritum, or Carmina In Spiritum Alpha Omega to be more specific. It is released by Slaughter in Art label. If you're into gothic, dark wave industrial music or post-industrial music, it's a big chance that you stumbled upon this Italian musician, AimA Lichtblau or AimA project, a collaboration with a number of projects like Allerseelen or In Scissors. She's definitely a busy musician who makes a significant mark on each work she's involved in. My first musical meeting with AimA was the album Song pour Song by Les Jumeaux Discordants, the project by her and Roberto Del Vecchio from The Last Hour or Gotica. That album was a really thrilling mix of dark wave, gothic and neoclassical, with one of my favorite songs made within these genres, that is Dittico Orfico. I love how the male declamations mingle with female vocals there. You know, if you don't know this album, check it. It was released by Atanor Records in 2010. On the written blog Santa Sangre, I had the opportunity to review two of AimA's works. I mean Caverna del Rose, Elysian Chants, and AimA and the Illusion of Silence, music for certain rituals. Today we'll focus on three fresh releases I recently got from AimA. This one, Carmina In Spiritum, and also two tapes, a mini collaboration between AimA and Allerseelen, and Oxymandias, another project by this Italian musician. The first one, Carmina In Spiritum Alpha Omega, which comes in three different versions. The first one, the regular one, is this CD, which looks like this. There's a booklet inside. With the lyrics. The second edition comes with an illustrated book containing the lyrics to all the Carminas or chants or hymns in Italian and translated to English, Latin and German. This actually is that edition I have. This is this book, as you can see. There's a dedication, thank you. There's also some graphics inside. This book, as I said, contains the illustrations by Diego Cinquegrana and a further explanation of the concept of the album. The third edition, most exclusive version, contains limited edition red book, and there's also this book, CD, artwork, a photograph, grain incense, and the sticker. Okay, so the concept, the title of this work is Carmina In Spiritum, which can be translated as hymns in spirit, or maybe spiritual hymns. For more detailed explanation, I refer you to the book. But in few words, it's a highly spiritual, hermetic, perhaps esoteric series of Carminas dedicated to the elements or spirits that hold the main inner forces, gaining from the traditions of a cappella music developed and fathomed by such medieval composers as Giovanni da Palestrina or Hildegard von Bingen. By the way, I found during the research other Hildegard von Bingen references in modern so-called post-industrial music. Her first famous work was called Sivias, and it was a description of 26 religious visions she experienced. And Sivias is also a name of a Hungarian neo-folk band. She was also the inventor of lingua ignota, the so-called unknown language, consisting of a vocabulary with unknown grammar and used for mystical purposes. And as you know, there's also the American project Lingua Ignota, led by Christine Hayter. But let's get back to AimA, because this video is about her works. Both mentioned medieval composers were connected with Christian traditions, one way or another, but the idea of Carmina In Spiritum is, as Angelo Tonelli writes in the foreword in the book, is to paganize the genre. I wrote it on the screen. To paganize the genre, saving the spiritual element of that type of sacred music and purifying it of concepts of a Christian nature. So the words, the poetry, ascetic but strangely beautiful, the music rooted in medieval traditions but produced in a contemporary avant-garde way and devoid of Christian traces. Here the earth is a deity, the sun, the moon, the elements. As I said, for more I refer you to this book. It's the second edition, the middle edition, you know, not the most exclusive one, but not just a CD. And the music. In the letter I received from AimA, she wrote that it's not an easy listening. Well, for those who take delight in more conventional music, it's definitely not. But to those who find bliss in ambient, I think it may be a good offering, because the soundscapes composed by AimA, the mentioned Diego Cinquegrama and Evor Amazy, are drifting smoothly. Apart from electronics, they use cello, chimes and overtone harp, all treated with a decent dose of reverb. And while I wouldn't say it's melodic, the palette of sounds is quite pleasant for ears. I hear the sun, the sun, the sea, the moon, sand and stones. Sometimes the music gets an oriental feeling, sometimes more medieval, and while its character is rooted in traditions from centuries ago, the production is absolutely 21st century. As for the vocals, obviously the easiest way would be to compare them with a certain female vocalist with the initials LG, but somehow I feel that combined with the music, at the end of the day, their feeling, the feeling is more esoteric in AimA's, in Carmina In Spiritum case. And the level of, let's say, otherworldliness is quite similar. Sometimes there's more than one vocal layer in the compositions, and those vocals often drift along with the instruments, forming another kind of depth in the song. Also, I know that this music is above nations or borders or whatever, but there's a sort of Mediterranean feeling on the album. If I wouldn't know who made it, my first guess would be someone from Italy or Greece. All in all, it's quite beautiful, mysterious music, a good offering if you want to forget about the current world news, and it's drawn in mythical mysticism for 40 minutes. And yes, apart from the CD, I got 2 tapes from AimA. Luckily I still have a working deck, so I can play the cassettes. The first one is a mini split containing this one, containing one song from AimA and one from Allerseelen. It's limited only to only to 22 copies, and for what I see, each copy has a different handmade cover. Which makes each copy unique. Only one song each project. In total it is less than 10 minutes. AimA's track to a certain level corresponds with this on Carmina In Spiritum, but it's kind of darker with more synthetic, even slightly harsher textures here and there. Something sounding as if, you know, Ataraxia went dark industrial. Of course, the vocals, whispers and incantations by AimA hover above the rest of the song. And the track by Allerseelen is composed by Gerhard Hallstatt and Evor Amnesi, whose name you've already heard in this review, if you were careful. The lyrics are written by AimA and translated to German by Gerhard. If you know Allerseelen, you'll recognize this sound at once. Of course, it's not as dynamic and rhythmic dance pop industrial like the classics based on melodic loops like on Venezia or Neuschwabenland. This track is more dark ambient based on drones and bass guitar parts, but there's also this looped violin which sounds very Allerseelen, and of course Gerhard Hallstatt declamations which can't be mistaken with anyone else. I think the lyrics are the same in both songs. The titles, at least the titles, are AimA in tuo Sogno in Italian and Liebe, Deinen, Traum in German. It means love your dream in English. Well, I love mine. The second theme is Oxyuranus, Opus 2 and 3. Again, 2 tracks, only 12 minutes of music. Again, a strictly limited edition with individual covers. Oxyuranus is a project by AimA and Diego Cinquegrana, and it's significantly darker than those previous releases. You know, I mentioned the sun and the moon while discussing Carmina In Spiritum Alpha Omega. This is the abyss, drowning in shapeless abyss without beginning nor end. There is a human factor, of course, AimA's vocals, but in the end there are like the echo of something that is long time gone. Apart from that, formless soundscapes based on synths and field recordings, very dark ambient stuff. Let's hope for a full album in the future. That's it, a long video, almost 13 minutes. If you're not familiar with AimA's works, you should definitely dig it. Yes, these 3 releases may not be the best starting point, and perhaps you should try something more approachable, like Le Jumeau Discordant. But if you know her, or you're interested in spiritual or esoteric traces in music, Carmina In Spiritum is definitely for you. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.